Adding product reviews to your Shopify store is one of the best ways to increase trust, improve SEO, and boost conversion. So what would be the first thing that I would do? Obviously is check out some of the apps that are available. At some point, Shopify gave you the option to use their free review Shopify app, which it has been deprecated and we can no longer use it. So they have made suggestions on what are some of the best apps, including Judge Me or Loop or Yotpo. On today's video, I'm gonna go deeper into Judge Me and show you why I think Judge Me is probably one of the best ones out there and most affordable as well. Now, here we have Judge Me on the Shopify App Store. This is a free app, and they do have a forever free plan. They do have a $15 a month with some additional benefits, which we'll talk about some of those benefits here in a little bit. Obviously, just great reviews overall, amazing app. For me, I think this is one of the most trusted review apps out there on Shopify, and it works. And it works on almost every single theme out there. You probably won't have any problems, and their support is amazing. So here on Shopify, we have the app already installed. If we click on it, we'll get to our dashboard. So this is sort of brand new. We've added it here to the store. This app, along with some of the other ones, will give you some of the action items, right, that you need to do. So this get started button here will give you some of the first steps, right? So if you already have a different app, or maybe you have reviews on, for example, an Etsy store or somewhere else, you can import reviews into Judge Me. So if those are already pre-existing, you can go through that process. We are a brand new store, so we don't have necessarily any pre-existing reviews, but know that that is something that is available for you. After that, you'll get to customize some of the email requests, right? So this to me is going to be very important. These are going to be all the email templates, or the email template, right? That Judge Me will use in order to send to your customers. So some of the things that you definitely want to do in here is definitely add your logo to these emails. All the current transactional emails that you're sending through Shopify or Klaviyo, they should have your logo as part of that. So that same logo that you're using on those emails, make sure that you use it here as well. And to be honest, a lot of times it should be the same logo that you're using on the top left-hand corner on your website. I know some brands have multiple logos, and that's totally fine. That's something that we encourage, right, to sort of expand and solidify the brand a little bit better. But that top logo should be the one that you use here. Now, this does give you the option to do the URL. You may be thinking like, well, where is my logo URL? So a lot of times it's gonna be right here under content, and then you'll have to go to files. If you have labeled them correctly, and I don't know if we have, test it out. We should type in logo and see our logo. Okay, so we do have it here. So all we have to do is copy this link. So we have that BitBranding logo in there. Let's go back to Judge Me, and we're under the collect reviews and email templates. So there we've added our logo. And then the other thing that I definitely encourage you to change is the star color. So the star color by default, it's gonna be that Judge Me teal, green, blue. And I would definitely encourage you to change it. It's not bad, right, that people know that you're using Judge Me, but if you go to any other store out there, they won't have that specific color of hue, right? You definitely want to, what I tend to gravitate towards is if your brand doesn't have a whole lot of colors, maybe you're very much like a black and white, type brand, you don't have a lot of colors, then to me, like just using sort of your typical, yellow, star yellow, obviously this is just an example, and maybe a little bit more gold tinted if you wanted to, but that's kind of like my go-to, right? It's making sure that you change it to maybe some kind of yellow star. Alternatively, I think just doing even a little bit more of that, I think it's better for contrast, especially when that yellow star is on top of like white. This looks a little bit easier on the eyes. Now, if your brand has a very unique or specific color and you want to use that color as part of the star rating, you can certainly do that. I've seen some stores that it looks really nice. And again, you're tying in your brand along with all this additional elements, right? And this is just a good opportunity, right? If you have like a nice purple or something that's part of your brand, you could certainly insert it as part of your branding here on the stars. I'm totally up for that. Let's go ahead and save this. So this is technically under, we're under general settings right now. So general settings gives you the opportunity to change the brand color and the logo right here. So let's go back to the collect reviews and go to the email template. All right, so we have our email template in here. Let's go ahead and click edit. They're just basically letting me know that they've added that logo in here, which is great. It's a little bit small, but this is where, you'll have the opportunity to now customize this particular email. So let me just see if we click here, store logo, does it give me, okay, that's smart. It looks like I cannot edit or make that logo bigger unless I upgrade to their newer version. And that's where you will see that little message all throughout some of the settings in here, which could be maybe a little bit annoying, right? Because you want to try to get all these features from the free plan, but they have to make their money somehow. So anytime that it says J Awesome, that means that that is a feature for the paid plan, which again, comparing it to other review apps out there, this is probably one of the most affordable ones, and they don't go, a lot of the other ones go by usage. So depending on how many reviews you're getting, that price point will increase. So we cannot make this bigger unless we go into that plan. And then it looks like block layout as well. Yeah, we can't edit anything here as far as the placement or how big it is. Now, some of the things that we can change is the actual verbiage, which is great. Actually, something else that we cannot change is the subject line, which is kind of a bummer. But we can edit the preview line text. So this is sort of like the additional line of text that people can see when they're just looking at their inbox. And everything else here, the title, the actual content of it, it looks like it's also part of the additional. And then colors here, so at least we can change the color stars, so we can do the golden, or if we have, does it allow to do custom? It doesn't allow to do custom. So it does allow us to do black, gray, golden, or the primary color, which the primary color should be, okay, there we go. Yeah, it switched it up to the one that we selected earlier, which is great. And then here, image dimension, height, width. Yeah, so a little bit limited, right, on some of the things that we can change, but this is a pretty standard email that we would get from a review, right? Just, sending a review. The other thing that I would encourage you to do is just send a sample so you can actually see how this looks in your actual inbox. That's just a great way. A lot of times when we look at the preview here, it looks a certain way, but on the actual real thing, it will look potentially a little bit different. So let me go ahead and save all these. And let's go back here. Okay. After you've manipulated what you can with the email template, there's also email settings. So with the email settings, it's going to be important to go over some of these. So sender info, the sender name is going to be important. A lot of times leaving just the brand name could be a deterrent. So what we've seen a lot of people do, it may be that they'll, like we sometimes do it where we do Christian at BitBranding, right? That seems a little bit more personable, right? Because it's coming from an actual person, not necessarily just BitBranding as not your brand, right? Or the name of your company. So I would say that could be a good test to do on your sender name, just to try and encourage people to actually open up the email in the first time. If it's coming from a personal, more than likely, you're going to get a few more opens. And then the sender email, right? This is where the actual email is coming from. I would encourage you to add the custom email. So if you have your business domain and you have emails generated from that business domain, so for us, we have the hello@bitbranding.co. That's going to be a lot better too than using the default Judge Me sender email. Now, the last thing that I want you to look into here is going to be the schedule and reminders. This by default is going to give you the 14 days after the order is fulfilled, and then a follow-up 5 days after that. They also split it up for domestic and international, which I think is great because international orders are definitely going to take a little bit longer. Now, by default, these numbers are going to stay the same. So if you are sending to international orders, you will probably want to manipulate these numbers to increase that a little bit. And to be honest, like these numbers are sort of best practice, right? Like ideally you want that to happen, but you definitely want to keep track of some of your customers' orders and seeing how long is it actually taking them to receive the item. When it comes to clothing, the customer doesn't really need a whole lot of time to figure out whether they like it or not. So there are times where, depending on the product, right, you want the timing, of requesting the review to be maybe a little bit longer so they have an opportunity to use the product and actually, wear and whatever. But with clothing, you typically get it in the mail, you open the box and you immediately feel it, and you probably immediately try it on, or that same day you try it on to see if it fits or not. So very quickly they're going to know whether they like it or not. So the best idea here, and then the best thing that I can give you, is just to keep track of the customer data, the orders, and seeing how quickly they're actually getting their orders. What you don't want is to request a review when they haven't even received their product yet. And anytime that you have an opportunity to do additional follow-ups and reminders, I would certainly do that. Now, the other thing is Judge Me takes care of that email notification, but if you want additional request channels, then you're gonna have to integrate something different. So for example, they connect really well with SMS Bump or ConvertWay for text messaging. So you can send reminders via text message, or you can also do Push Owl for the desktop notifications, right, that show up on the computer. So those two are gonna be just great alternatives to just the email. So if you're struggling to get reviews right away, then adding different avenues, different channels to collect the reviews is going to be very important. Obviously, with some of these apps, you will probably incur an additional charge. So just keep that in mind when it comes to some of these additional channels. All right, let's get into the actual widgets, right? So adding and best practices for integrating the reviews into your website. Now, JudgeMe does give you a few options in here. They give you the get started, they give you a showcase reviews, UGC, some badges. So they give you a lot of different things. And my recommendation would be not to do everything available, but to install some of these things on select areas on your website. So the first thing that we need to do really is just enable the app embed. With this app and probably any review app, you will probably have to go through this step, which after you add the app, you got to make sure that you go to your theme editor for your current live theme, and then you go to the app embeds. And in here, you got to make sure that this is turned on for that particular app. Now we're going to go click save on that. And just because you've added the app doesn't mean that it's fully integrated into your theme. So this is where you'll want to go into different pages, right? So right now we are on our default product page template, and right within here, there's a couple of things that I would want to see if I have reviews. Number one, it's going to be some kind of star rating. The best placement for this will probably be right underneath either above or below the product title. So what we're going to do is under your product information block, we're going to add a block in here, and then as you can see, these are all the blocks for your particular theme. So this is going to be universal for everybody. But then you'll have another tab in here for apps, right? So these additional apps are the ones that you'll have to manually go in here and add. So what we're going to look for is going to be JudgeMe. So here we have, all the JudgeMe available app blocks. So we have the review widget, reviews carousel, text section, star rating, which is the one that we want to use, and then verified reviewers and badges. So if you don't know what any of these mean, or if you need some additional insight into some of these, just add them as a block, right? And just kind of, the theme will show you a preview of how that will look. So if we add the star ratings, for example, we'll definitely want to move them again. Let's do it right underneath the title of the product just to see how that will look. So it looks like with this particular theme, the title is also sort of embedded with my product price. So this looks a little bit wonky, right? I would want to run underneath that. So if we can't do that, let's just try to above and see how this looks. Okay, I think that looks better. So we're gonna have the reviews right above. And as you can see, because we're on the theme customizer, it's just gonna show you as a preview. So this is not real, right? It's just 3 sample reviews only in preview. It'll make sure to say that in here. So now for each of these sections, there's really not a whole lot of customizations. And this really depends on the app. Sometimes you'll have customizations to do right here. Other times you have to go into the actual app and then customize them from there, which is how JudgeMe actually works. You have to go here to add them where you want to add them, and then you have to go back to the app to potentially customize it on the verbiage or the color or the stars and things like that. So that will be my first suggestion, would be to have the star rating here on the product page. And then in addition to that, what I do want to see is the actual reviews for this particular product that are showcased right underneath the product information. So I wouldn't add them to the product information block. I would just create a new section so I can have a dedicated area where I showcase these reviews. Let's go here and let's type in JudgeMe. So we have the reviews carousel section for metals. So the reviews widget is going to be our main product review widget. So this is the one that we're going to add in here. And again, just by default, it's going to show us what the preview looks like. So pretty standard, write a review, the summary of the star ratings, and again, how it would look if I had reviews in here. With these app sections, sometimes depending on your theme, it may add a additional title or headline. So I would make sure to just remove that. So if you click on the apps section, you may have some options in here to have an additional title. I would just get rid of that and just let the customer reviews be the title. So this is part of the actual widget itself. And then again, with this, to me, like the best placement is going to be just right underneath the, well, definitely not at the top, right below, all the product information. So we have all the product information. We have the star ratings at the very top. And then when they scroll, they actually see the reviews for this particular product. Now, just because we have these product review section here, doesn't mean that people are actually gonna leave reviews, or that the customer that comes in here is actually going to see reviews, right? So to me, some of the best things that you can do is 2 things. One, JudgeMe does give you the option to do product groupings. So if you have this t-shirt, for example, and I have it in black and white and purple and in green, but in the back end of my store, they're split up into different products, I can create a grouping, right, of of these products so that no matter if you click on the green one or the purple one, you will see all the reviews grouped together. So it's a little bit nicer if you have similar products or products within the same grouping category that would benefit from sharing some of these reviews. And again, sometimes I've seen stores that have potentially like duplicate products just because they're A/B testing and things like that. Like you want to make sure that those reviews stay together, so you can do that. So let's go back over here so I can show you how that looks. So right under here, under manage reviews, the last tab is going to be products and groups. As you can see, we have our products right within here. So it's just a matter of adding a product group in here. So if we just say like this is PDFs, for example, create the group. And this particular feature is only available on the Awesome plan, which is fine. But again, just an additional option that you have is to create these product groups, which is going to be really, really nice. Now, if this is maybe not in your budget right now, right, or something that you don't want to necessarily explore, something else that I would probably recommend is you have your review widget here. You can also add the additional review carousel. So go here, judge me. We could do something like a reviews carousel. So we'll have our customer reviews for this particular product, and then we can showcase that reviews carousel, which is not showing me the preview. Let's try adding it as an additional section. Do this. And it could be that we just don't have any reviews right now, so it doesn't show me the actual preview. And let me see, let's go ahead and click save on this, because we talked about like we have to go back over here to see the reviews. We see the reviews carousel right here, that we have a preview of how that will look. This reviews carousel is sort of gonna grab a bunch of different reviews, right, from different products. So it's not gonna be just about this particular product, but it's gonna be about any product in my store. So for this one, probably, yeah, because we don't have any reviews technically in here, so it's probably not going to showcase anything. But the review curation, so you can select like my recent 5-star reviews. You can do recent reviews with pictures, or you can choose them manually. And is this like a feature that I can do? Okay, yeah, that's something that's included within the free plan, which is great. But I think to me, like, yeah, just leaving it as the recent 5-star reviews would be good. And again, the idea of why we would do something like this in a separate review section within your product page is that this particular product may not have reviews right now, but we still want to showcase some kind of social proof on your product page. And this is one of the best ways that you can do it. The other option would be to do the product groupings, which again, you will have to go into Judge Me Awesome plan. But again, this section in particular is good for those general pages. So another placement for this would be the homepage. The homepage is a great place to include some kind of social proof, and having the reviews carousel in there would be a good idea. Now, other widgets that I've seen people add is some of the, and to me, like the ones that I would probably recommend would be either these medals. So the Judge Me medals are going to be just 3 badges that kind of give you a summary, right, of your products. Now, these medals are going to be good and beneficial if you have a lot of different reviews, right? Because it's going to showcase like overall we have 100 reviews in our store, right? Like 5-star, like happy customers. Like it's going to give you a summary, right, of all of the reviews that you have. And it's just a great way to add some trust badges. And again, this review medals will be great on the home page. You could probably do this even on the collection page, etc. The other one that I would maybe consider would be either the verified reviews counter or the all reviews counter. Again, these are more for the product page or the collection page, just to showcase some additional things. All these, like the floating reviews tab, the pop-up reviews, they're okay. Like having a dedicated reviews page, again, it's okay. I think for clothing, it's more beneficial to have it very much ingrained within the product page and having some kind of social proof within the home page. And again, collection pages, that's another great placement to add some of these, or even the reviews counter, etc. Now, with all of these, just like we went through and we customize the reviews carousel, the widget and the star rating, you can click on each of these and actually go in and customize it. Something that I would encourage you to do, because I've seen it sometimes be a little bit finicky, is making sure that the color, the star rating color is actually set up correctly. So this one right here, let's leave as default to use your primary star color. So we can just reset this to default just to make sure. And again, that's something that I would just encourage you to do on all the sections, because sometimes I've seen it change a little bit. Now, to me, the last placement that I think it makes a lot of sense is going to be the collection page. So on the actual collection page, Judge Me does give you the option to showcase your star rating here on a per product basis, which is gonna be a very good visual for your customers to see. Now with that, let me go back over here. You'll want to go to your star rating badge and then click customize. And then right within here, you'll see this message to add your star rating to your collection pages. This is something that I would definitely recommend to do. This is gonna be a little bit different on a theme by theme basis. All right, so we successfully left a review. The Judge Me app automatically accepted the review because it was a 5-star rating, and it published the review. So as you can see, right from the actual collection page, we have the review snippet in here. Obviously, it's not the best placement for it, so that's where we would have to essentially try to figure out exactly what the best placement for it would be. Right now, it's just it's showing in between the title, the product, and the pricing, so not the best placement. So we may have to potentially, let's grab this, copy it, delete it from there, and let's add it maybe above this, which is the title of the product, and let's refresh. Okay, so still not great. It's showing just right before. I wanted to show on top. One of the best things, and I always encourage people, just submit a quick message to Judge Me, and they will help you with the actual placement of this particular section so that it shows up correctly in the right place. And again, the reason for this is because every theme is going to be just slightly different, right? They're built by different developers and different people, so you may encounter this to be something very easy, or it may be a little bit of a headache. But as you can see, we have the star rating here showcased on the collection page, and we click on the product page, you'll see the star rating show up right within here. This also looks like we're having a double star rating. So let's troubleshoot that, but let me scroll down here, and yeah, there we go. Customer reviews, awesome. And then our review carousel, again, right there, perfect. Yeah, this is great. So for this right here, there's one of the things that I've seen before, and this will depend on your actual theme. So to me, certain themes have the ability, or they give you a check mark somewhere to showcase star ratings, which is great, but a lot of times it sort of conflicts with an app. So if we go here to product information, it may be right here or under theme settings. There is nothing there. Okay, let's look at our product title. Okay, that's where it is. You'll see here this checkbox says show product rating, display product rating, add a product rating app. So some of these themes, and again, yours may or may not have this available. If you like that placement better than the one that we selected, so I think that one actually looks better. So we may not have to do this additional block. So I'm just hiding the star rating here at the bottom. Let's go ahead and click save on that and see how that looks. Okay, yeah, so that was the original placement that we wanted, was right there underneath the actual product title. So I think that looks great. It looks a little bit cleaner than the one that we had added manually. So again, your theme may or may not have this. All right, there you have it. Those are gonna be the steps in order to add reviews to your Shopify store. Product reviews are gonna be a great form of social proof. It's gonna offer potential customers an honest feedback right from past buyers. And this is also gonna help you too, right? It should help you develop better products and figure out what your customers are liking or disliking. The biggest impact this is gonna have on your store is that it's gonna build trust, right? Customers are gonna come in here, they're gonna see reviews, they're gonna see that there's happy customers already shopping with you. Reviews are a must-have for every single store. And this right here, this video in general, is just the beginning of this, right? There's gonna be things like loyalty programs that you can do and incorporate Judge Me into part of those loyalty programs, that if you are interested, right, in going deeper into the rabbit hole of reviews and how loyalty would become together, let me know in the comments below if you want to see how those two could potentially work together to even increase your reviews to the next level. Now, if you're interested in some additional tactics to capture reviews, then you want to check out this video here next.